What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. It's time to give my final college football playoff predictions. We've pretty much got 11 spots sewn up. All that's left to find out is it going to be Alabama or is it going to be SMU? Other than that, I think the playoff field is pretty much set. Now, seeding-wise, that's not exactly set. We'll find that out tomorrow at noon. There's some things I think they'll tweak to avoid some possible rematches, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But the main argument is Alabama versus SMU. Clemson beats SMU, they still that automatic ACC bid. So that leaves the argument here with SMU and Alabama. Now, the reason I'm leaning who I'm leaning here, even though I might not would lean them, I'd probably lean the team out of the field, but we'll get to that in a minute. First off, let's go ahead and talk about it. Number 12, Clemson. They get the automatic bid here. They don't get a bye just because Boise State is, for some reason, ranked so much higher than everybody. I don't know why. But number 11, this is where the spot comes into play. I've got Alabama right now getting into the field over SMU. Now, I would even lean Ole Miss if I was the committee, but I think the committee pretty much let it be known that it's going to be Bama or SMU. The reason I've leaned Alabama, yes, SMU only has 2 losses. Yes, they lost in their conference championship. How much will they punish them for that? That's to be determined. The reason I've got them here, though, Clemson beat SMU. Alabama beat the 2 SEC teams that beat Clemson. So Clemson has 3 losses. 2 of them are to SEC schools, and that's to Georgia and South Carolina. Alabama beat both of those schools, and so I think they get in over SMU. Now, it's not a direct correlation to SMU, but that's a team that beat SMU, so I think Alabama would beat SMU. Now, SMU made a good push at the end, which can make it more difficult. If they would have got blown out, it would have been no contest to be Alabama. But I'm not 100% sure it's going to be Alabama, but that's which way I'm leaning right now. So I think Alabama sneaks in at the 11th spot. Number 10, we've got Indiana. They're in pretty much as the 10 seed. I think that's pretty much sewn up. Tennessee, they are sewn up in the 9 seed as well. Now, where the question marks come into play are 8, 7, 6, and 5. I think pretty much everything else is set. 8, 7, 6, 5. It's going to be these 4 teams in some form or fashion. The reason I have them in this order is to avoid an Ohio State-Indiana rematch in the 7-10 game, because as the way they have it laid out right now, I would think Ohio State would rank over Penn State if they both have 2 losses because Ohio State has the head-to-head. But in order to avoid an Indiana-Ohio State rematch in the first round, I think they'll move Ohio State back to 8 and not move Penn State down too far. And so I think Notre Dame and Penn State, you could flip-flop these if you wanted to at 7 and 6. But as of right now, I got Notre Dame at 7, Penn State at 6. I've got Texas at 5. Their only loss is too close, or I won't say too close, 2 losses to Georgia. Then the top 4, so these are guys, the top 4 conference winners. I don't know how Boise State is ranked so much higher than these teams, but for some reason they are. I think Arizona State will jump them, though. So I've got Boise at 4, Arizona at 3, Arizona State at 3, Georgia at 2, Oregon at 1. So the real question mark is Alabama versus SMU. Before I end this video, though, I do want to know, down in the comment section, let me know who you think gets in. Is it Alabama or SMU, and why? Let me know your argument as far as who you think should get in, or if you think Ole Miss, Miami, or South Carolina should get in as well over SMU or Alabama. Let me know and why. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.